Chat. I low-key want I want to get a new watch. We're done. We're low-key done with the Apple Watches, man. Well, we're not done with it, but we want to level up and look more dapper.
Most people think
so. We're gonna go with the 7 levels of watches. Let's see what level the Apple Watch is.
Most people think spending more money on a watch automatically means getting a better watch. Most people are wrong. The difference between a $50 watch and a $50,000 watch has almost nothing.
I'm like, Apple Watches are low-key like one of the most useless like products you can ever buy. Cause low-key, if you really think about it, people be like, oh, tracks your fitness and all this stuff. But you don't really need it. Like, I'm gonna be so honest. Like, now that I have it, well, I've had it for a while. I'm like, it's so useless. Besides this, hold on. Like, hold on. I'm about to flex on you guys. All right. Where is it? All right. Look. You guys ready? Shit. You could be any, like, and then you can't tell me that's not tough. Ooh! That shit is fire, bro. That's fire. But besides that, an Apple Watch is so useless now that I have it. I think it's more for aesthetic looks. It's like more for aesthetic looks than for actual, like, oh yeah, I use it every day. No, it's great. What's so great about it? Like a genuine, what's like genuinely like, why is it not useless? Is mine every day? I do too, but it's still useless. It's like, if you took off this Apple Watch, I'd still do the same things every day. Like, has no impact.
To do with how well it tells time. It has everything to... The difference between a $50 watch and a $50,000 watch has almost nothing to do with how well it tells time. It has everything to do with understanding what you are actually...
Steps, weather, time, battery, messages, one thing that I hate is the notifications on an Apple Watch. That just fries my head. Like, every time it's just buzzing every 2 seconds. And all the messages. I don't know. All these steps and all that stuff, it's... Dude, like, you could track it, but it's like low-key, like, even if you don't have it, like, there's no difference. Even the workout options, it's so inaccurate. On it for 3 apps, I never even changed it. I think that's why. I have it for every app.
Paying for at each level.
Bro, I'm low-key sweating.
These are the 7 levels of watches.
Like, I'm genuinely sweating, like, hold on. Okay, let me stop. Let's get back to the video. Let's get back to the video. I'm actually sweating, bro. I'm actually warm as heck. Strip. Okay. Let's chill.
By the end of this, you will know exactly where to spend your money and where you are just paying for a name on
Should I get a rollie? I might get a rollie.
Level 1. Fashion and entry quartz. This is where most people own their first watch without ever realizing it is a watch. A fossil you got for your birthday. A Daniel Wellington someone bought because it...
Mine was a Seconda. Leather strap. With, it was like rose gold. Whatever it is. I forgot what it's called.
Looked nice on Instagram. A Casio you grabbed at the airport. These are fashion accessories that happen to...
But there's these one watches. I want to get G-Shocks. I would low-key have a G-Shock watch collection. Because there's some G-Shocks that just look amazing. Like, I'm not even joking. I might low-key get a G-Shock collection one day.
Display the time. And there is nothing wrong with that. But you need to know what you are holding. The movement inside most of these watches costs the brand somewhere between $2 and $5. The rest of the price is the strap, the case, the logo, and the marketing budget. The names at this level are Fossil, Daniel Wellington, MVMT, Timex at its most basic, and the lower end of Swatch. You are spending between $15 and $100. Here is what most people get wrong about Level 1. The cheap price does not mean cheap engineering. Quartz technology is genuinely impressive. A basic quartz movement is accurate to within 15 seconds per month. Most mechanical watches that cost 10 times as much cannot touch that number. The problem is not accuracy. The problem is that there is nothing inside the watch that justifies owning it long term. These are disposable objects.
I really want to know the difference between these watches and like just a freaking an AP. Why an AP is that expensive? Besides, if you put like diamonds off the watch, like just a plain AP, I want to know the difference.
The exception is Casio. The G-Shock and the original
Look how nice that looks, though. Look how nice the G-Shock looks. Like, you can't tell me that watch does not look fire, man. Them G-Shocks are just so nice. Look, they just look so nice.
Casio F91W do not pretend to be anything other than what they are. They are built to survive. Navy SEALs have worn the F91W on missions because it is reliable, cheap to replace, and does not reflect light. There are G-Shocks from the 1980s still running perfectly today. The best value at Level 1 is not the fashion brand with the minimalist dial. It is the Casio that will outlast everything else in your drawer.
That's facts.
Level 2, the gateway watches. This is where watches stop being accessories and start being objects worth caring about. Seiko and Orient built this level. The Seiko 5 series, the SKX007.
I don't like the way that watch looks regardless. What is a first real step into watch culture. Holds a mechanical icon for under 300. In-house calibers, built to last, easy to service.
And its descendants, the Orient Bambino.
I think it's just a name that makes it expensive.
These watches contain real mechanical movements with genuine longevity. You are spending between $70 and $500, and you are getting something you can pass down. Here is what changes at Level 2. The movement inside matters now.
If we're at Level 2 and like the max is 500, Level 3 is gonna be like 1,000 to like 500 to like 5K. Watch.
Seiko manufactures most of their components in-house, which is rarer than it sounds. The NH35 and NH36 movements powering most entry Seikos are workhorses. They are not the most refined movements in the world, but they are accurate enough, repairable, and built to run for decades with basic maintenance. Citizen sits here too, specifically the Eco Drive line, which runs on light and never needs a battery. What the marketing will not tell you about Level 2 is that this is where the watch community actually lives. Not in the boutiques on Fifth Avenue. Right here, the Seiko Turtle, the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time series, the Orient Star. These watches generate genuine passion from people who have owned watches at every level and keep coming back. The best value at Level 2 is the Seiko Presage. For under $200, you get a beautiful hand-winding movement you can see through the case back, a dial that looks like it should cost 5 times as much, and the kind of fit and finish that embarrasses brands charging 3 times the price. Level 3. Entry Swiss. This is where the phrase Swiss made starts carrying real weight. Not because Swiss made automatically means better, but because the regulations around it actually mean something. To put Swiss made on a dial, at least 60% of the manufacturing costs must occur in Switzerland. That bar is not as high as watch snobs pretend, but it does mean you are getting a product with legitimate Swiss oversight. Tissot, Hamilton, Longines, Mido, and Friedrich Constant live at Level 3. You are spending between $300 and $2,000.
Damn.
Here is where beginners make a critical mistake.
That's a whole PC on your hand, bro.
They assume entry Swiss is just paying for prestige. Some of it is. But the Tissot PRX and the Hamilton Khaki Mechanical deliver movement quality and finishing that entry. Japanese watches genuinely cannot match at the same price point. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical uses an ETA 2801 movement. ETA is one of the most respected movement manufacturers in the world, and that movement will run for 40 years with a service every 10 years. The best value at level 3 is the Longines Hydro Conquest.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't get luxury watches and their appeal. I think it's just the name. It's the name. The name carries so much like heavy weight on it. Imagine you pull up and you go, look, I got an AP, like imagine, like, not even Rolex, just say you have, I said Rolex, I meant Rolex. You pull and go, look at my AP. Niggas are gonna be looking at you, bro. It's just the name itself. And obviously, it depends which one, because you can get like ones that cost like almost 1 million, like. But I'm like, APs are the only ones that I think look nice, like, out of like all these expensive brands. Rolex to me, low-key, is like mid in my eyes.
Competes directly with watches that cost
I've never seen like one that I would like.
Carries full Swiss manufacturer credibility and holds its value better than anything else at this price. Level 4. Enthusiast territory. Now we get into the levels where your taste actually matters. Between $2,000 and $8,000, you are buying watches that have a point of view, a personality.
Have you ever even watched them videos of the guys like who would be buying watches? I feel like I can never buy a watch because it's just like, it's low-key like, I don't even know how to explain. They're too like, how do I say it? Like if the sellers don't think you can afford it, they'll literally make fun of you and all this shit. And you'll probably get scammed. Low-key. Yeah, I'm not the target audience. Clothing, sure, but because everyone knows luxury clothing has and carries history. Accessories, jewels, watches can be gone from anywhere. Nah, it's the same with clothes. You can get clothing that does not have like a name to itself and it'll be fire.
Tag Heuer, Rado, entry-level Omega, and Grand Seiko sit here. The conversation shifts entirely. You are no longer asking, does this watch work? You are asking, what does this watch say about what you value?
I think that's what it means. Like sometimes, like,
if you are enjoying this breakdown,
unless it's a one-to-one watch, I'll be like, okay, cool.
I cover watches and the culture around them every week. Grand Seiko deserves its own paragraph at level 4. Most people outside the watch community have never heard of it.
Facts.
Inside the watch community, it is spoken about in the same breath as Swiss houses that charge 3 times the price. The finishing on a Grand Seiko is done by hand. The Zaratsu polishing technique creates flat surfaces so reflective they look like mirrors. No machine produces that finish. A craftsperson does it with their hands. The movements are decorated to a standard most Swiss watches at this price level do not bother with. Grand Seiko is the worst kept secret in watches, and it will not be a secret much longer.
Ooh, it's not getting gatekeeped. It's gonna break free.
Here is what the marketing will not tell you at level 4. A lot of what you are paying for between $2,000 and $8,000 is the brand's history and boutique overhead. Tag Heuer and Breitling sell you a story. The story is real. The heritage is genuine. But 2 watches can contain the same ETA movement, have the same water resistance, and the same case quality. And one costs 4 times as much because its logo has more cultural cachet.
Yep.
Know what you are buying before you buy it. Level 5, the icons. This is
this nigga's video is kind of delayed.
Buying before you buy it. Level 5, the icons. This is Rolex territory. Omega at its best. IWC.
The flip is Omega? I've never heard of that.
Panerai. Breitling flagship pieces. You are spending between $8,000 and $30,000.
Dang, I'm only at level 5. A man said 30,000 is the... Yo, what the heck? That's why I need to understand why a watch would be like 30,000. That's one thing I just want to know.
You have crossed a line that most consumers never cross and never need to. At level 5, something changes that no amount of specification comparison can fully capture. These watches have presence, not in a pretentious way, in the way that a well-tailored suit has presence. You feel it before you can explain it. The Rolex Submariner is not the most technically impressive watch you can buy for $12,000. There are movements with more complications, dials with more artistry, cases with more elaborate finishing. What the Submariner has is 40 years of cultural weight behind it. Astronauts wore them, divers worked with them. Every Submariner produced today is traceable back to a design language that has not fundamentally changed since 1953.
So it's 12,000 because astronauts wore it, actors wore it, just people high profile wore it. So it just went up to 12,000. Alrighty.
There is a reason it holds its resale value better than almost any object made by human hands. Here is the uncomfortable truth about Level 5. You do not need to spend this much to have a great watch. You genuinely do not. A Grand Seiko from Level 4 will make you happier on the wrist every single day. But if you are buying your first serious watch and you know you will only ever own one, the Rolex Submariner or the Omega Seamaster Professional will never embarrass you. They will still be relevant in 30 years. They will still be worth money. That combination is genuinely rare. The best value at Level 5 is the Omega Seamaster Diver 300M. It has a coaxial escapement that requires servicing half as often as a traditional lever escapement, meaning lower long-term ownership costs. It has a...
Would that not mean you're spending more money on like services and all that shit? Like, is it that worth it that you need to constantly go and like service your Rolex that costs you like 30K?
Master Chronometer certification, which is the most rigorous movement certification in the industry. And it costs meaningfully less than the Submariner, while giving up very little in terms of what actually matters. Level 6. High Horology. Now we are in a different conversation entirely. Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, Vacheron Constantin, A. Lang, and Sona.
Yeah, I'm hearing a bunch of new names. All I know is the Patek. Or Patek.
Audemars Piguet.
And Audemars, that's the AP. I know AP and the Patek, and then that's it. I've never heard of this Constantine.
Vacheron Constantin, A. Lang, and Sona. You are spending between $30,000 and $150,000.
Damn!
And you are not buying better timekeeping. You are buying hand labor and human skill. The kind
is that why? Okay, I see. So it's just made 100%
craft that cannot be scaled or automated.
No wonder that shit sometimes could be like 1 million.
A watchmaker spent months assembling and decorating the movement inside a Patek Philippe annual calendar. Every bridge is hand-beveled. Every jewel is individually set. The level of finishing under a loop on a movement that will never be seen by most people who own the watch is a kind of irrational, beautiful commitment to doing something properly. Here is what most people get wrong about Level 6. The Royal Oak changed everything when Audemars Piguet released it in 19...
See, look, that's like, and what's it called? Yeah, I can't even say it on Twitch, bro. I'm keeping shut. Because I don't even know if that's even like crazy to say. That is crazy to say. That is actually wild. I don't know what you're talking about. But man, this AP here, that's why I said APs low-key look nice. Because they actually have like a nice frame. They just low-key look nice. But I don't know how that costs almost average from 30K to 150K. That's one thing I'll never understand.
1972. Gerald Genta designed it in a single night. It was the first luxury watch with an integrated bracelet made from steel rather than precious metal. It made industrial design a luxury statement. Today, a stainless steel Royal Oak costs more than $30,000 on the secondary market, not because of the materials, but because of the idea. The best buy...
Are you serious?
At Level 6, if you must spend here, is A. Lang and Sona, a German manufacturer from Glashütte, producing movements that make Swiss watchmakers visibly uncomfortable. The finishing on a Lang movement is the finest in the industry. Full stop. No debate. Their value retention is strong, and their reputation among serious collectors is unmatched. Level 7. Collector Grade
I'm predicting it's gonna say 150 to 1 million.
And Ultra Rare. We have officially left the world of wearing watches and entered the world of stewarding them. At level 7, you find bottles that never get opened, except here they are watches that never go on wrists. You see vintage Patek Philippe.
Like, why would you do that? Why would you buy a watch just to never wear it? Like, that's not. It's looking so silly, bro.
Philippe references, complication pieces from independent makers, and watches from defunct houses whose movements can never be serviced with original parts again. F.P. Journet deserves mention here. Francois-Paul Journet is a living watchmaker who produces everything in-house by hand, in limited numbers, in Geneva. He started his manufacture in 1999. Today, his watches trade at serious multiples of retail.
I was completely wrong. Why am I seeing 31 million? You're crazy. I don't know why the heck you would ever spend a watch just to never wear it for 30 million. Are you serious?
Secondary market, not because of speculation, but because collectors who understand what they are looking at recognize something made at a standard that almost no living watchmaker can match. The Patek Philippe 5711, a stainless steel Nautilus, was discontinued in 2021.
Yeah, I know that shit's gonna say 100 mil. Discontinued? There's no more? Oh, no.
Its retail price was around $7,000. Secondary market prices immediately exceeded $100,000.
What the hell?
That is not about the watch.
It is about a money laundering scheme? I think, well, for some of these, it's because there's like no, like, there's probably like, it's probably 1-on-1 or like 1 out of like 50. I say some of those watches, those be the ones that be like probably like 1 mil each.
Scarcity, desire, and the irrational beauty of a market built entirely on wanting. Here is the uncomfortable truth about level 7. Most people who own these watches never wear them. They sit in safes, they appreciate, they get photographed for insurance purposes, and sometimes that is fine. The watch market has created real wealth for collectors who understood what they were acquiring 20 years ago. A Patek that cost $15,000 in 2000 is worth $200,000 today in some cases.
What?
But if you are buying a watch at level 7 because you think it will taste proportionally better than a level 5 watch on your wrist, you will be disappointed.
Facts. I feel like after you buy, imagine someone just bought that 100,000 watch. Niggas is gonna look at themselves after and be like, what the hell did I just do? I just wasted 100 grand on just a watch I'm never gonna put on my wrist. Like, if I bought that shit's going on my wrist. I don't care if it loses value, bro.
The law of diminishing returns hits hardest at the very top. So, where does that leave you? The sweet spot lives between levels 2 and 5.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm stuck on level 1, bro. I'm aiming for G-Shocks.
Entry Seiko through Icon Swiss, roughly $200,000 to $15,000. This is where quality and value actually meet. Start at level 2 or 3 to learn what you actually like. Do you prefer a mechanical movement you can see working? Do you care more about dial design? Do you need serious tool watch durability, or do you want something that goes to dinner? Answer those questions with a
Give me a Patek, give me an AP and a G-Shock collection. Those are the two I would only really get. If I had crazy money, I'll go for APs. If right now, I'd go for G-Shocks.
$100 Seiko before you answer them with a $12,000 Rolex. He buys 10 exceptional watches instead of one legendary one.
That's fast.
10 exceptional watches.
Look how nice that black G-Shock looks. I'm telling you, G-Shocks might be the best looking watches on the market. That just looks so nice, and I know it can go with anything. Like, that's fire. I'm definitely going for a G-Shock collection.